Today we are doing 11/8 inverse variations. Inverse variations are defined in three ways. For one, they look like this as an equation, and k is a constant, the constant of the variation, and their graphs look like these, which are hyperbolas. So let me go into all the components first. I'm going to start with a real life example of what an inverse variation would look like. So let's say you are running on a treadmill and you want to run a mile. The faster you go, the less time you will be on the treadmill. The slower you go, the longer you will be spent on the treadmill. So the time varies inversely with the speed, or you could say the speed varies inversely with the time. So obviously the faster you go, the quicker you'll be able to get off and you'll run your mile. The slower you go, the longer you will be on there. So it's an inverse variation, and there's this constant k which you can find, which tells you whether or not it is a variation, an inverse variation. You would use these two equations either way. These mean the same thing. If you notice here, if I just divide by if I just divide by x, I will get this equation. You can use them in any form you want in order to see if x varies inversely with y. So k is constant, and this means it has to be the same number, so that's what you're trying to usually find for your variation. And this right here is what your inverse variation would look like. These are called hyperbolas. So hyperbolas get closer and closer to asymptotes. And asymptotes are these x and y values here, or x and y axis, I should say. So these axes are acting like the asymptotes. Sometimes asymptotes are not always on the x or y. For this book, I believe that's what we're sticking to, but they are getting more complicated as you get in higher level math, and it will shift a little bit. But what you want to know is for today's lesson, these are asymptotes. And what does an asymptote do? All it means is that this red graph, these values are getting closer and closer and closer to 0, which is right here, but for the y value, that is, but it is never going to touch the x-axis. Just right here, these values are going to get closer and closer to this y-axis, but it's never going to hit it. They act kind of as barriers. Same thing here, it would get closer and closer to this x-axis and closer to these y-axis. So if I did a better job drawing these, it's really hard to do on here. These would really kind of look like this. They would get closer and closer, but never quite touch. This would get closer and closer, but never quite touch. Same thing here, and same thing here. And again, I know it's hard to draw on this computer, but that's how it would work. So what you want to know is you have a few examples, and it just asks you to find x, k, or y. And it depends on what the question is. So for this one, it says x varies inversely with y. So it's telling you it's an inverse equation. And it says that y is 21 and x is 3. So obviously you are therefore looking for the k. So you must plug it into your formula. So if you remember, your formula that is written at the top here is y equals k over x, or x times y equals k. And you can use any of these to find out what k is. I suggest that you use this one if you're trying to find k, because k is all by itself. All you'll have to do is multiply what x and y is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have 21 times 3, and I'm just plugging that in, equals k. 21 times 3 is 63. So I have k equals 63, and I found the constant of the variation. Let's look at B. it says y varies inversely with x. And it says that y is 6 and k is 3. So again, you're going to use your formula that I gave you. We're going to use them right here in red. I would go ahead and, let's see, you want to try to find the x. It won't really matter in this case, but let's stick with this one again. I'm going to use the x times y equals k equation. I know that I don't know what x is. I know that y is 6, and I know that k is 3. And I'm going to go ahead and solve for x. So I'm going to divide by 6 because I want to get x by itself. And I get x equals 1/2 because 3 goes into 3 once and 3 goes into 6 twice. The next example says, is the relationship between x and y represented in this table an inverse variation? So in order to find that out, you have to see if you have a constant k. And if k isn't constant, then it is not an inverse variation. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to remember your formula, which I'll write it again. It's x times y equals k. So if you notice here, we have our x values and our y values. So we just need to start multiplying them. I'm going to have -3 times -9. -3 times -9 is 27. -2 times -6 is 12. And I technically can stop there, and I'll explain why in a second, but I just want to prove it one more time. -1 times -3 gives you 3. And if you notice, when I multiply, I am not getting the same numbers here, which is my k. So k is not constant. So that means that this is not an inverse variation. Let's look at B. Again, we're going to multiply. We're going to have 1 times 12, which is 12, 2 times 6, which is 12, and 3 times 4, which is 12, and 4 times 3, which is 12, and 5 times 2.4 is also 12. Got to check them all. So here we look, they're all the same, so you have a constant k. So this is an inverse variation. And the other one is not an inverse variation. So we would say not an inverse variation.